Reading is not optional. Walter Dean Myers. I couldn't agree more. If you want to embark on your lifelong learning journey, these 10 books for intellectuals are indispensable. If you're looking to broaden your knowledge beyond your academic field, use this list as a starting point. Since it might take a while to get through all of them, watch the full video so you can at least know the essence of each book and join in on the conversation. These 10 books for intellectuals cover history, science, psychology, and personal development, ensuring you'll know more than 99% of people. And now, without further ado, welcome to Shribe. Book 1, The Intellectual Life, Its Spirit, Conditions, Methods by Antonin Sertillanges. This timeless masterpiece reveals why an intellectual life is a desirable life. The book is more relevant today than ever, showing you how to sharpen your critical thinking. In my view, the most important skill you can have. Sertillanges was a philosopher, so he presents the content from this perspective. Don't shy away from philosophy when picking up this book. After reading this book, you'll appreciate why it's included in this list, and you'll be convinced that your path forward can only lead to an intellectual life. See you on the other side. Book 2, Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. After philosophy, we now turn to history. Sapiens provides an overview of human history from its beginnings to the present. Harari shows how Homo sapiens became the dominant species and the role cognitive, agricultural, and scientific revolutions played in this. It might sound somewhat boring, but after a few pages, you'll be amazed. Harari describes, like no one before, how myths and stories hold our societies together and how the invention of money, religion, and states shaped humanity. This book helps you understand how we got where we are today and makes you think about our future. After devouring the book, you can continue with Harari's second major work, Homo Deus. This takes you from the past into the future of humanity. Book 3, A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking. Speaking of past and future, if you're interested in natural sciences or need to catch up in this area, Stephen Hawking is your man. In A Brief History of Time, Hawking explains nothing less than the secrets of the universe. Topics like the nature of time, black holes, quantum physics, and the universe itself are described in an understandable way. Hawking takes you on a journey through space and time, illuminating the big questions of physics. Is there a boundary to the universe? How did the universe and time begin? This book is ideal if you want to familiarize yourself with the fundamental questions of physics, even if you found the subject rather meh in school. Despite the complexity of the topics, Hawking manages to explain them in a way that non-experts can understand. Book 4, Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. Daniel Kahneman was the Grandmaster of modern psychology and sadly passed away in 2024. In Thinking Fast and Slow, he describes the two systems of our thinking: fast, intuitive thinking, and slow, logical thinking. He shows how these systems influence our decisions and the cognitive biases often at play. After reading the book, you'll be amazed at how rarely we actually make rational decisions, even though we think we do. Kahneman also explains how your brain prefers quick, automatic reactions in many situations, which often leads to mistakes, and how slow, deliberate thinking can avoid these errors. This book helps you reflect on your own thinking and make better decisions for a lifetime. Book 5, Outliers, The Story of Success by Malcolm Gladwell. Outliers is a standout on our list of the 10 books for intellectuals for its unique insights into the nature of success. Malcolm Gladwell examines the factors that make people successful. The book is a mix of popular science and self-help. He shows that success is not just about talent, but also the right circumstances and opportunities. Gladwell highlights examples from various fields, from sports to music to business, analyzing why certain people are extraordinarily successful. The book became famous for Gladwell's 10,000 hour rule, which states that it takes about 10,000 hours of intensive practice to achieve mastery in a given field. Through interesting stories and analyses, it becomes clear that hard work and the right environment are often more decisive than innate talent. There is some criticism about the viewpoints Gladwell puts forth in this book. You should read through these passages with a critical eye. However, I still recommend this book because I want you to benefit from one of the most important lessons from it, which is that working long and hard at one talent or skill, those 10,000 hours, pays off exponentially. Book number 6, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. In Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl recounts his experiences in concentration camps during the Holocaust and how he found a deeper meaning in life through them. Frankl's psychological perspective on his incredible experiences is particularly interesting. Frankl argues that our primary drive is not happiness, but the search for meaning. Apart from incredible stories, the book shows that no matter your circumstances, you can always decide how you respond to them, and no one can ever take that away from you. Book 7, A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. In a time when wokeness and gender issues are discussed more than ever, Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own remains an essential piece. This book, originally published in 1929, has lost none of its relevance and still offers insights and inspiration on feminism. This historical perspective on feminism helps us understand how far we've come and what challenges remain. Woolf argues that women need a room of their own and an independent income to develop creatively. Whether you identify as a man, woman, or somewhere in between or outside, Woolf's reflections on gender roles and stereotypes are still relevant today and invite you to question existing structures like patriarchy and inspire change. If you can claim to have read such a cornerstone of feminist literature, then hardly anyone can challenge you on this topic. Book 8, The Science of the Artificial by Herbert Simon. This book is particularly interesting if you're into computer science, AI, or the philosophy behind it. First published in 1969 and revised multiple times over the decades, Simon's book isn't just about artificial intelligence, but anything human-made. For example, organizations are also artificial. Simon's work has influenced fields like cognitive psychology, business administration, computer science, linguistics, and education, basically almost all scientific disciplines. If you want to read a book that makes professors' eyes light up, this is the one. Book 9, Factfulness by Hans Rosling. In Factfulness, Hans Rosling explains why we often see the world as worse than it actually is. Using facts and data, he shows how the world has improved in many areas and debunks common myths and false assumptions. Rosling emphasizes that a negative worldview often stems from outdated information and prejudices. This book helps you see the world more clearly and optimistically, giving you tools to better understand and interpret reality, such as correctly interpreting statistics. Even though the examples are not the most current, the book is the best defense against sensationalist headlines on social media and in news outlets, which aren't important to you and might just bring you down. After Factfulness, you might want to go on an information diet and focus on your own stuff. Book 10, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. This book is hailed by many as the best self-help book ever written. When I first read it, it didn't help me that much. I was so early on in my journey that the book didn't really resonate with me. The trick with this book is to read it every few years. With each bit of progress you make in life, you'll recognize new wisdom in this timeless classic. If you have goals in life, personal or professional, read this book. It helps you steer your life in a positive or even more positive direction and become the best version of yourself in all areas of life.